This is a general reading. As I said, I use the 12 houses of the zodiac. I've already shuffled and laid out the cards. And as they appear in each house, then those are the influences that are coming to bear at this time for you. So now in the first house, we have earth element stability. And the first house is everything to do with yourself, your physical body, your appearance, your vitality, your life force. It's also your the first impressions that you make on other people and how other people perceive you. So it's your personality and your characteristics and your physical body, how you appear to them. It's also what you project outwards as well, which can have quite a bit to do with your ascendant as well. So it's also your self-oriented interests, anything to do with you and yourself. Now, with earth element stability coming in, there seems to be a bit of a theme this month. Certain elements are popping up in your chart, which is associated with certain areas, perhaps of your nature, which is related to stubbornness, fixed views, which may be holding you back in some way. So fear of change, or just, don't like change at all. So, it's kind of hanging on to those ideas, and they may be preventing you from actually moving forward in some way, holding you back. There could be areas of like materialism, being overly materialistic or being concerned with that. Perhaps you're facing some sort of shift and you now need to let go of a few things, and that may be holding you up in some way. Or it could be like hoarding, hanging on to things because they have something associated with them, and really they don't serve any purpose anymore in your life. So just be aware of that, because it's coming up in your first house, which is to do with yourself and how you are moving forward in the world, your personal independence. It's coming up in your 12th house, which is your house of the unconscious as well. And these are unconscious motivations and drives which may be affecting you at this time. So just be aware of that. With this earth element card in your first house, it's also about digging deep to find your strength. And it's also about sort of measured actions, methodical, practical actions, building a solid base for future success. So this is basically like one brick at a time, to build something really, a really solid structure, so that so that will always be there for you. You may also be having to exercise patience. And as I said, slow, methodical movements, with whatever it is that you're doing in the first house. It's also about trust. This card is also about trust of yourself and trust of others, and trust of the process, because it may be slower than you are used to, or what you like, or it could be too slow. In other words, it's holding you back because, it's just taking so much time. What you're trying to do may be taking too much time, and you may be needing to let things go a little bit, to move things around, to change. It could also be really on a practical sort of level, where you need to just spend time in nature, and to balance yourself, balance your energies, time with your hands in the soil. So that's gardening, or some kind of earthy activity, or activities where you are building physically with your hands, or some sort of grounding activity. Very, very helpful for you at this time. So lots of time in nature, in your garden, walking on the earth. This card can also bring in meeting the right people. So you could be making very useful contacts at this time. And it could be that you are going to be going into a business, or you want to go into business at this time. And therefore your fresh ideas and fresh approaches are going to be very important, in order to move you forward. Then in the second house, we have Black Moon Lilith mystery. So this is the second house is your house of your income, your money coming in, however it comes to you. Also, it's the house of your self-worth, and also your values, what you value in yourself, what you value in others, and your value systems. So this is all about ownership as well, your possessions, what you actually own physically. So with Black Moon Lilith mystery coming in, it's like you're waiting for something to happen in this house. So it could be to do with money, but sort of unknown factors are at play. So you don't have all the facts yet. You don't have, not everything has been laid out for you. Not everything has been revealed. It's kind of like there is a bit of a mystery going on. There could be undercurrents going on where you know there's stuff happening, but you can't actually put your finger on it. You're just not sure. It could also be that you need to remain steadfast about something as well in this house. This is a sort of a darker feminine coming in, but it's also there's quite a lot of control and power in this house. And what it could be bringing in for you, either you are going through this, since this is to do with your self-worth and your values. It could be you going through this, or you are seeing it around you in some way. Where again, this is about hanging on to emotions, hanging on to feelings which are not serving you at this time. So it's a kind of hoarding, which came up in your first house and also, in your 12th house, which is the house of unconscious. So you could be hanging on to old feelings, or feelings of like resentment, rejection, being overlooked, or envy, or guilt, or fear, or anger. So it could be fear of change as well, or just fears in general, or anger over something, or feeling slighted in some way. And it's kind of got vengeful feelings attached to it. There could even be rebellion going on in there as well. So it's a whole range of those deeper emotions which require which all come from fear, actually. So they require a healthy outlet of some kind. So whether it's gardening or spending time in nature, either one of those two is going to help you a lot. So don't hang on to emotions like that. Don't let them fester in you for whatever is going on around you. As I said, it could be that you're seeing this in somebody else. It's best to exercise this and get a healthy outlet for this, get it under control, because if you don't get it under control, it could undo a lot of good work that you've already, plans that you've had in place and work that you've been doing for some time. It could all just fall away because of one slip up somewhere along the line. Then in the third house, we have void of course moon missing. So this house is your house of communication. So it's communication with people in general. Could be the public, somebody that's close to you at this time. So a significant relationship. It's also to do with people, sort of that are associated with you in a sort of a family setting. So this is cousins, aunts, uncles, siblings, relatives. And it can also be neighbors. So in your environment, your actual neighborhood. It's communication of all kinds. So this is written, verbal, body language, and it can also be covering documents and contracts of all kinds. All right. So this is important because when this card comes in, it's saying to you that you need to just stay as you are for now. So this is a time for rest. It's a pause period. So rest, sleep. You can dream about what you want to do, but just hold on to any plans now. Don't initiate anything right now. You need to hold on to your plans and think about them, plan a little bit, but don't initiate at this time until the energies have shifted. So don't initiate any important actions or signings or things like that until the energies have shifted. Normally, the void of course moon is not a long period that it takes place. It's normally between signs when the moon changes sign very rapidly every two to 2.5 days. So, but when it comes to a general reading like this, it could be a period of a week or maybe more during the course of the month, or it could continue for longer. But just watch the energies, be careful, just see how things go. If you can postpone certain things, then do so until you feel for certain that things have shifted and that things are working in your favor now. But it's about just being quiet right now, staying as you are in your normal routine, no initiation at this time. And this is being echoed actually in your 11th house as well, because this similar kind of energy is coming up. You've got Mercury retrograde in your 11th house, which is your house of friendships, hopes and dreams, your wishes, your personal hobbies and interests, and also contacts and networks and groups that you are involved in. So some kind of communication is you're being told to just hang on to it for now, just wait a while. This house is also about short trips, local trips, so possibly just avoid going anywhere for now at this time. Then in the fourth house, we have Neptune sacrifice. So your fourth house is your house of home, your physical home. It's also the atmosphere in the home, the people in your home. And it's also your relationship with your ancestry, your roots, your foundation, your ethnic identity. That whole family, your whole tribe, your whole family setup, where you've come from, your foundation. It's your relationship with that whole scenario. So with Neptune sacrifice coming in, there's a few sides to this card. It could manifest in a number of ways. I'm just going to go through them, and then you can see how it's going to play out for you. So this is a card very much of retreat and meditation. So taking time out, so maybe spend time at home quietly, just thinking about things, and just retreating from things in general, just to get your energies together. It's also about accessing imagination, and it's almost like connecting with the divine as well in some way. So that could be in a number of ways. Perhaps you do art at home, or perhaps you're involved in activities at home, or you just need to spend time going through your imagination and sort of putting things down on paper. If you write, it could be that. It could also be that the arts, as I said, the arts are coming in for you, or your artistic pursuits in some way may be highlighted for you at this time, because this is a very good time to be accessing all that through Neptune. It's also a time for pursuits to do with film or filmmaking, or perhaps you have people like this in your home currently, but it's to do with film, and also glamour or glamorous people. And it's that whole industry around that could be coming to visit you in your home in some way, or you could be involved in some way, or perhaps you have somebody visiting you at this time who's involved with that. This card is also a card of sacrifice, as it says, but this is normally some kind of sacrifice for the greater good. So you may have to do without something for harmony in your home, or just for in terms of a greater plan that you might have. So something to do with that. It's also the card of confusion, or a situation which is unclear, like a veil has been drawn over something. You just can't see a clear path, or you can't quite see what it is you should be doing, or there are circumstances in your home which are not clear. Could be people in your home. So just make sure that you are clearly communicating with whoever's in your home at all times, so that there are no misunderstandings coming in there, because you may be subject to illusion or sort of some kind of deception. As I said, things may be veiled at this time. There could be emotional games going on as well. So just be aware of that. This card also can bring in sort of exposure to toxins and allergens in the home. This is toxic substances. It could be your cleaning substances that you're using in your home. Get rid of the toxic stuff, go for the natural stuff, things that are not going to build up in your home and create allergies. So any negative substances in your home. So these could be medicines of all kinds that are just not right for you, or it could be, as I said, some kind of toxic substances which are sort of releasing themselves into your environment, or you're using them on a daily basis and they're just not good for you. It could also be alcohol. It could be drugs. It could be anything to do with that, any kind of addictive substance in your home, or just an addictive atmosphere. All of this needs to be cleared away and sorted out, and it just may be coming in some way, shape or form in your home. It could also be that you may be needing to live near water, or you are living near water, or you would like to live near water, which may come in for you. Then in the fifth house, we have Saturn Truth. So your fifth house is your house of, it's the house of sort of outgoing activities, fun, recreation, any kind of activity which is enjoyable for you. It could be sports even, but it's also the house of children, your children or somebody else's children that you're associated with at this time. It could be a relative or a family member, or you could be a teacher. It's also the house of love affairs, and all activities around that. And it's also the house of your personal creativity, how you apply yourself to that. Or you could be really a creative person and be using those as part of your profession. So now with Saturn Truth coming in, this is not an especially fun card. So you may just find that you have some kind of restrictions around you at this time, which are, may not allow for you to be doing many fun activities at this time, or you're involved in a sports activity and you've had to cut back, or you restrict yourself in some way. It could be an old injury or something that you've had to tackle, or perhaps a lack of funds, something like that. This card is also always about responsibility and wisdom. That is the ultimate game with this. Responsibility and wisdom, and also maturity. All right. So you may be needing to bring this in some way, shape or form in your house, this house, or it could be coming through to you via your children. So you're seeing it in some way. Perhaps you need to, they need to bring in responsibility and a bit of wisdom to what they're working with, or perhaps you have to guide them with that. Perhaps they're maturing now and realizing certain things. You or them or whoever's in this fifth house could be facing difficulties at this time. So some sort of disappointment or a truth now needs to be faced in some way. This card is also about releasing what is not working for you or for your children. Or in the love affair, or it could be some activity that you're involved in. So releasing what is not working, because anything that doesn't have a very good, strong, solid foundation will crumble with Saturn around. This card is also about bringing systems and structure in to this environment, to this fifth house environment. Systems, structure, and once you bring those systems and structure in, then that creates harmony and the solid foundation which you require to build success from. So, as I said, this could be very much children related at this time. It could also be that there is a father figure or some sort of older male figure which is going to be very helpful at this time in this house. It could be a mentor, or it could be a teacher figure. But a solid person, structured person, systematic person, very Capricornian, or it could be a lover, a love affair that you're entering at this time with somebody who's older, well established, got a good reputation, and so on. It could be coming in that way.